All right, welcome to the Be Real, Get Real podcast. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, and this podcast is all about real women sharing real stories of their life's journey in the intention of sharing some tips, tools, and strategies that inspire you to move forward, living your best and real, authentic life. Today's guest is Sue Tabaka-Critchik. Yay, I said it. Lovingly known as Sue TK. And we're going to be having a conversation with Sue today about the power of help, H-E-L-P. And it's not something many of us were good at asking for. So I'm really looking forward to expanding myself in this area of help. Before we dive in, let me share a little bit about Sue and her background. So after teaching English and library media for, get ready for this, 34 years in Minnesota, and I said it the right way, Sue and her husband Tom retired to a small town on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Since then, she has been featured in a book project about courageous women. She's become a certified advisor with the How to Fascinate system and launched a coaching and consulting business. Her business, which is called Your Fascination Factor, and you can go to yourfascinationfactor.com, is where she leads clients to discover their unique advantages so they can lead the life they desire, filled with confidence and courage, whether in business or in life in general. She provides so much value. She is a woman close to my heart, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be with you today. Hello, Sue TK.
Hello, Nancy, and thank you so much for inviting me to be on the podcast. This particular podcast, the whole thing, Be Real, Get Real, has really spoken to me because I believe I've lived a life of authenticity. But I want to say that within the past 10 years since moving to Florida, my life has really become real. And that's part of what I want to share today.
Yeah, tell us more about that, because as you shared that with me, for 34 years, you had an identity as a teacher, a scholar, a mother, a wife, and then you retired and moved away from your hometown. Like, that had to be quite a shakeup.
It really was. And that is a big part of my story, reinventing myself. And there are times when I say that and people say, well, you didn't really reinvent yourself. And I say, yeah, I did. And as you said, being a teacher, a wife, a mother, and doing it for 34 years, what I discovered was that I was always the person willing to say yes. If you asked me for help, I would say, yeah, I can help you do that. And I helped students, I helped other teachers. Of course, I helped my husband and our daughters and neighbors and family and all of that. And never really thought twice about it. Never really thought about the impact that offering help on a consistent basis would have on my psyche. And so when Tom had suggested, and he had suggested this back when we got married in 1980, he said, when I retire, I want to be on the beach in Florida. And I'm like, okay, I'm game, let's go. And so when the opportunity came up and we were able to do that, it was very refreshing. It was difficult to move away from family. Our daughter Katie still lives up in Minnesota with her family, and our daughter Mandy lives in Corning, New York with her family. And lots of friends that I retired with gave me the song and dance about how can you be so far away from your family? How can you be so far away from those grandchildren? And I had to really think about it because the good old Roman Catholic guilt complex in me said, oh.
Well, and as you were saying that, I could feel the, the heaviness of the guilt related to it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and it
all
is.
the shoulds. Should you really
Yes.
do this? Yeah.
Yes, and it is heavy. And so after Tom and I moved down here, I created a life that was so awesome. I can't think of another word to describe it. On a fluke, I went to a little gathering. I did not know a soul. These women embraced me and they started talking about Women's Prosperity Network. And I'm like, I think I'm going to go. I was invited, and that day I signed up. Since then, these women in the Tallahassee area have become my tribe. They had no preconceived notions about me. They didn't care what I had done in my past life.
Like a fresh, clean slate, really.
Oh, yeah. There was no baggage following me. I could go and I could sit down and I could just relax and enjoy having a conversation. And when we would mastermind at our tables and I could offer advice, they would lean forward and they would say, thank you. What did you do before this? And when I would say, oh, I taught for 34 years, they would go, oh, it's so good to have you here. And so what happened is that needing me had completely changed. And for all of those grandmothers out there who are thinking, oh, how could she leave those grandbabies? I started the mantra of, I'm just a plane ride away. And I have been there for my daughters when they need me, when, husband is traveling and grandson needs tubes put in his ears, or when baby's being born. It's like, just call me. Just, I'm there. I'll get on a plane. I will drop what I'm doing and come and help you. The nice thing is that I believe I have really impacted our daughters. I think they've seen that this is a good life. And so I do have a whole thing about the power of the word help. And I think you alluded to it, that so many times we are afraid to ask for help because, number one, it makes us seem like we're weak and we like to be known as strong women. And especially those of us who have been strong, we just don't like that feeling of, oh, who am I going to ask? What if they say no? What if my need is too great? And you'll appreciate this. We just got notice that our condo that we've been renting is going on the market. And we've lived here for 10 years. We've loved it. We don't want to purchase. It's not the perfect place for us. On the other hand, it's been a great place to grow. Mm-hmm. So now the question comes in, what do we do? Lots of people have advice. Like Minnesota daughter says, oh, good, you'll move back to Minnesota. And I'm like, no. And we had a very, very good discussion this weekend, as I think I explained quite well that I need to be here, and that right now I'm not being selfish in a bad way. I'm being selfish in a good way, and I am asking for help. And the H stands for honoring myself in a very honest way. After giving, and still giving to a certain degree, I have decided that I really need to honor myself. I need to honor what is important to me, because I don't know if I have 1 day left, 3 days, 30 years. I don't know. And so honest and honor.
Let me pop in on this, and I know you're going to share with us the rest. of this help conversation. The other thing that comes to mind for me is that by having this honest discussion with your family, and while they would love for you to be there, I see that you're setting a beautiful example of what's possible for anyone's life. So just because of the fact that you've moved away, it doesn't mean I love you any less. It doesn't mean I'm not here to help you when you need it. It means I'm honoring my life to the fullest capacity of what makes my heart happy. And you're, by example, showing your children they can do the same. Like, nobody should ever feel trapped into making a decision that doesn't light you up. Like, we can make decisions that light us up.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that is such a major part of what my life has become down here, is that it has lit up. I mean, I really feel that I have a new purpose, and that is super important, especially for those of us who are baby boomers and getting to that age where a lot of my friends that I taught with are very content where they are. And I accept that in them. That's not me. I still have a lot of service to give to others, and it motivates me and it energizes me. So
And listen, I'm grateful that you felt that nudge and you're honoring and answering the call, because the way that you use the power of words, the power of having people really identify their unique advantages and use that to move forward in their lives, rather than looking upon, oh, well, I'm not like this one, I'm not like that one. Well, good. Right? So it brings
right.
a valuable piece to
Right.
people's lives.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the E for me stands for explicit. And by that, I mean that when I am asking for help, I am asking for help because I explicitly have an issue. I explicitly need something done. I've gone away from the, oh, can you do me a favor? Could I ask for your help? Instead, I am saying, I really need your help in writing this copy. I really need your help in cleaning out all of my clutter. I really need your help in this. And I'm explicit instead of being general.
Or groveling. Like, there's
right.
There's strength in the way you're asking for help. And let's face it, just the way you loved to help people, other people love to help you. And when you make it, you make it explicit, you actually make it easy to give them the gift of helping you.
Yes. So many times when people say, can I ask you for a favor? Your immediate reaction is, you want to be gracious, you want to say yes, but really you want to know what it is before you're saying yes.
Good point.
Because if you really don't want to do it and you've just said yes, then it's like, oh, and it's draining your energy. So that E can be for energy too, but
yeah. Well, and what, can I ask you a favor is kind of like a prelude to actually saying what it is that you want. It's like not as confident, and it's like saying, can I ask you a question? Well, you just did. It's the same kind of question.
Yes.
Just ask for what you want. And it takes practice to learn this. So I'm loving that you're giving us some guidelines.
Yes.
Better ask for help. Good. All right. So honoring, being honest, explicit rather than general. The letter L.
The letter L is lessons. Okay. Every day we learn more and more lessons. And when I ask for help, I discover other people's strengths and what they're willing to give. I give them an opportunity to serve me as well as me serving them. And it it goes along with listening, which is an important aspect of helping anybody. Sometimes it is being there for someone and not actually physically doing anything, but rather listening. And so lessons is something that when I am thinking about providing help or seeking help, I'm hoping to learn more. I'm hoping to gain a lesson from it that I can continue taking with me along my journey.
Love it.
And the P is practice and perspective, okay? I am the type of person, as I stated earlier, that asking for help is sometimes very, very difficult. And so getting into the habit of actually practicing asking for help it's been very good for me. It's been very humbling because I now see that other people have so much to offer me. And it's kind of like going back to being a teacher and looking at each student and saying, I know that you have something so good within you. Let me help you bring that forward. Let me pull it out of you so that you have a chance to shine. And so that is, for me, the power of help. And of course, when I thought about the word help, what goes through my head immediately is the Beatles song.
Help,
You know,
somebody help.
right.
Anybody.
And the words from the Beatles song, when I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone. I don't feel so self-assured. And now I've changed my mind and I've opened up the doors. And so it's just, whenever I think of that, I'm not only opening the door to me, but also to someone else by asking for their help and by giving them my help. So it's, it's very, very powerful.
That was so good. That was so good. I had never put the song together with a concept of help, and how beautiful it is that there are answers and examples for us everywhere.
There are.
It's beautiful. So, and I love music, so that's a good one. I'm going to go play it as soon as we're done with the podcast so I can hear.
It's been running through my head, especially
Wow.
these last couple of weeks, as I've had to really reach out and say, I need your help packing stuff up. I need your help cleaning this room. I need, it being explicit and doing that.
There's vulnerability when we ask for help because of all that old programming. I need to be strong. I have to appear perfect. So easily saying I need help is, I can't imagine, especially anyone close to us would say no. Strangers.
Right.
Strangers. Right. People want to give help when we are confident enough to say, I need help.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. Miss Sue, as always, you have lit me up and inspired me and gave me a fresh perspective. So I thank you for being with us today on the Be Real, Get Real podcast.
Thank you, Nancy.
It's been awesome. And to all of our friends out there, be sure to tune in for next week's episode of the Be Real, Get Real podcast. Until next time, get out there and go ahead. Ask for some help. It's good. It's a win-win. Have a great day, everybody. Bye, Sue.
Bye, Nancy.